In this course, 1, 2, 3, and 4 operations questions check your ability to do basic calculations quickly. It is important to note that on numerical tests, a calculator is almost always allowed. After all, these tests are intended to measure your numerical ability in a work setting where calculators are certainly not prohibited. In order to fully prepare you for any situation, we will look at how to solve questions with or without a calculator. When using a calculator, make sure that you're completely familiar with the one that you're going to use. This is absolutely essential and cannot be stressed enough. Before we begin, it is important to recall the basic operations of arithmetic, which are addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. When using a calculator, you don't have to worry about the order of mathematical operations, as the calculator automatically does these. When calculators are not permitted, you must know the correct order of mathematical operations. In Canada and the USA, the abbreviation PEMDAS helps people remember this order. PEMDAS represents parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. Parentheses are brackets. The question will involve 1, 2, 3, or 4 mathematical operations, sometimes in word form. The approach needed usually involves the reversal of PEMDAS. This will be explained as we proceed. Let's take a look at an example where this is not of great importance. What is A if A multiplied by 7 equals 798? How to answer with a calculator. The operation of this problem is multiplication. The inverse operation of multiplication is division. All we need to do here is to apply inverse operations on both sides of the equation in order to obtain the answer. Divide by 7. 798 divided by 7 equals 114. Hence, the answer is D. How to answer without a calculator. When answering manually, knowledge of times tables is vital. Here is the basic times table. Make sure you know it thoroughly. Always look at one's digit, in this case 8 of 798. The only numbers which multiply with 7 to give a number ending in 8 must end with 4, so the only possibilities are A or D. A is easy to multiply and we can quickly tell that it's too small, so the answer is D. Question: what is A if A multiplied by 38 equals 760? To answer with a calculator, all you need to do is apply inverse operations on both sides of the equation in order to get the answer. A equals 760 divided by 38 equals 20. Hence, the answer is C. How to answer without a calculator. Always look at one's digit, in this case 0 of 760. The only numbers which multiply with 8 to give a number which ends in 0 end with 5 or 0. No choice ends in 5, so the answer is E. Question: what is A if A divided by 157 equals 14? All we need to do here is to apply inverse operations on both sides of the equation in order to get the answer. The inverse operation of division is multiplication. A equals 14 times 157 equals 2,198. The answer is E. How to answer without a calculator. We must still multiply 14 times 157. Always look at one's digits. In this case, 4 times 7 equals 28. You must get a number finishing with 8. This immediately rules out A, B, C, and D. The only possible choice is E. Next problem. A straight hedge is 1,644 feet long and a bike is 6 feet long. How many bikes could be parked end to end along the hedge? This is a word problem. The number of bikes times 6 equals 1,644. To answer with a calculator and using inverse operations, the number of bikes equals 1,644 divided by 6 equals 274. The correct answer is D. How to answer without a calculator. Always look at one's digit, in this case 4 of 1,554. The only numbers which multiply with 6 to give a number which ends in 4 and with 4 or 9. Only possible choices are A, B, or D. It can't be A, as 119 times 6 is smaller than 120 times 6 equals 720. It can't be B, as 904 times 6 is greater than 900 times 6 equals 5,400, so the answer is D. Sometimes there are two operations. Question: what is A if A divided by 24 multiplied by 6 equals 96? To answer with a calculator, all we need to do is to apply inverse operations to get the answer. A equals 96 divided by 6 times 24 equals 384. Hence, the answer is E. To answer without a calculator, first mentally divide 96 by 6 to get 16. Then 96 divided by 4 times 24 equals 16 times 24. Always look at one's digits. In this case, 6 times 24 equals 24. We must get a number finishing with 4. This immediately rules out A, B, C, and D. The only possible choice is E. Next question. What is A if 25 divided by 5 minus A equals 23? This is a simple problem and an interesting one. There are a number of equally valid ways of solving it. Here is one which is more formal than the other that is given here. The subtraction on the left side of equals is equivalent to addition on the right side. Therefore, 215 divided by 5 equals 23 plus A, and A equals 215 divided by 5 minus 23. How to answer with a calculator. Just put that calculation in your calculator and get 20. The answer is D. How to answer without a calculator. For this question, mentally divide 215 by 5 to get 43. Then 43 minus 23 equals 20. The answer is D. This is another word problem. 19 people each had the same number of books. Their children had 150 books. The combination of the children's books and those of their parents was 378 books. How many books did each parent have? Let A be the number of books each parent had. A times 19 plus 150 equals 378. Using inverse operations, A is equal to the number of books equals 378 minus 150 divided by 6 equals 19. The answer is A. How to answer without a calculator. Always look at one's digit. In this case, 0 of 150 and 8 of 378. The first inverse operation is 378 minus 150. The ones digits give 8 minus 0 equals 8. The only numbers which multiply with 9 to give a number which ends in 8 end with 2. Only possible answer is A. Some problems have 3 operations like this, for example. What is A if 100 times A divided by 125 times 7 equals 336? How to answer with a calculator. Just use inverse operation, as we are only dealing with multiplication and division, which have no priority over each other. A equals 336 divided by 7 times 125 divided by 100 equals 60. The choice is A. How to answer without a calculator. If you only have a fixed time of a few seconds between questions, you would have to be very good at mental arithmetic to do this. There are all sorts of strategies with this sort of problem. In this case, you could divide 336 by 7 and get 48, and you might notice that both 125 and 100 can be divided by 25, so 125 divided by 100 equals 5 divided by 4. After these, A equals to 48 times 5 divided by 4 equals 60. The choice is A. For these questions, a good amount of practice is extremely helpful as part of your preparation for this exam. Question: what is A if 100 plus A minus 125 plus 87 equals 336? When answering using a calculator, just use inverse operations as we are only dealing with addition and subtraction, which have no priority over each other. A equals 336 minus 87 plus 125 minus 100 equals 274. The choice is D. If you only have a fixed time of a few seconds between questions, you would have to be very good at mental arithmetic to do this. Despite this, as the calculation only involves addition and subtraction, you can probably succeed. If 100 plus A minus 125 plus 87 equals 336, then A minus 25 plus 87 equals 336, and A plus 62 equals 336. Therefore, A equals 336 minus 62 equals 330 plus 6 minus 60 minus 2 equals 270 plus 4 equals 274. And finally, 4 operation questions. This type of question can be quite a bit more complicated to approach, and is usually only possible to solve quickly with the aid of a calculator. If you're unable to use a calculator and are facing this kind of question, it is recommended to skip it in favor of easier questions in the test. This manner of question without the aid of a calculator is often a major time trap, and should be approached with caution. Question: what is A if 936 divided by A divided by 3 multiplied by 693 divided by 77 equals 27? How to answer using a calculator. 936 divided by A divided by 3 times 693 divided by 77 equals 27 is equivalent to 336 divided by 3 times 693 divided by 77 equals 27 times A. So A equals 936 divided by 3 times 693 divided by 77 divided by 27 equals 104. The answer is E. Answering without a calculator. A is equal to 936 divided by 3 times 693 divided by 77 divided by 27. To simplify, 3 divides into 936 and 11 divides into 693 and 77. Using these, we get A equals 312 times 63 divided by 7 divided by 27. 3 divides into 312 and 27, and 7 divides into 63. Using these, we get A equals to 104 times 9 divided by 9 equals 104. The answer is E. As we have explored, 1, 2, 3, 4 operation questions may seem simple on the surface, but require a bit of critical thinking to solve in a time-efficient and accurate manner. As long as you remember your times tables and the appropriate application of it along with your methodology discussed in this guide, you have nothing to fear when approaching your numerical test.